Welcome back, new day, another unboxing. I'm really excited about this one in particular because it's from Northland Fishing. I don't really know anything about them besides those yellow packages and that they're really popular up north. So we're gonna open it up right now. Thanks for watching, everyone. I really appreciate all the new subscribers. Please like and subscribe. I'll continue to do these videos. You guys really like these unboxing videos, and it seems like there's been a lot of packages coming through lately, so we're gonna jump into another one from Northland Fishing Tackle. Now, like I said in the intro, I don't know much about this company at all. You know, when you go up north, you see their yellow packages all over the place. You know, I always personally associated them with walleye fishing. Hearing about it with the Linders, I mean, I've heard of Northland, of course, probably have used some of their stuff for walleye and everything else, but they're big in bass fishing. You know, look at Gussie. You know, he's been connected to them forever. You know, now they are actually distributing the Smeltonator jig head that he uses for his moping technique. It won the Bassmaster Classic, and they're actually becoming his main title sponsor now, even though they've been connected to him for a long time. So I know about the company. You know, I work in the fishing industry, so I pay attention to those things. I'm a nerd with that. I love the business side of fishing. So let's jump into this right now because, like I said, I'm excited. I don't think I own a single bass lure from Northland, even though they have some really good stuff. So, you know, this box is pretty heavy, so I'm guessing it's gonna be a lot of terminal tackle type stuff. And that's what it looks like right away. It's pretty sweet. A lot of jig heads. So let's kind of dig through this. So we got the Mimic swim jig. So yeah, it's got a Gamakatsu hook, ultra strong 60-degree line tie, swim bait head. That's awesome. So we'll look at some of these a little bit closer, but that's the first one that I grabbed. We also got the Ned Stir. That's cool. I've been catching a lot of fish on Ned rigs again. You know, I was really into Ned rigs when it first came out. But my last trip out, that was the best bait. So this comes at a great time. And these are a 1/4 ounce. So we'll look at those a little bit later. Got the weedless Wacky jig. That's pretty cool. Again, Gamakatsu hook. I'm liking that they use those good quality hooks. I've mentioned the Smeltonator. Here's a Smeltonator underspin. So it's got that same design, but obviously with a spinner on the end of it, the blade at the end of it. And the Smeltonator, awesome. These are great. It's a pretty good size hook on that one, 3/8 5/0 hook. So that's cool. We also got the Finesse football head. So yeah, downsized hook. It's a 1/0. And all these, I'll look at these a little bit closer when I get to it. Oh, look at that, a frog. Okay, here's a more downsized version of the Smeltonator. Smaller hook, I should say. It's a 1/0 hook in there. This is still a 3/8, so you can fish it pretty deep. Got the weedless Ned Stir. The titanium weed guard. That's awesome. A magnet for the fridge. So where to start? So let's go with the Smeltonator because, again, that's big news that they're distributing that bait. It's a Canadian bait. You could buy them on Tackle Warehouse. I have, but now that they're distributed by a bigger company, you're gonna see them a lot more often. So let's go into that. Let's go with the 1/8 ounce and 1/0. So it's got a Gamakatsu hook. You know, again, this is perfectly made for what Gussie calls moping, but it's very similar to what I call mid-strolling. Putting a fluke style bait on there, casting it out there and fishing for suspended fish. It's got a good keeper on it. You know, there's another very well-known company that has a very similar jig to this. I'm not gonna name names, but if you know what I'm talking about, it's very similar, but it's a proven design. You can see the line tie on there. It's perfect for the vertical fishing. It's on top, it's not over here, so you can keep it perfectly at rest. For the Demiki style, moping, whatever you want to call it, but that's a key. And again, it's got that Gamakatsu hook in it. It's gonna stick them and keep them on there, so love that. So, Smeltonator underspin, I mean, it's kind of the same thing, but it's just got the blade on it. So it's a spinner, what else would it say? Premium spinner with compact nickel-plated willow blade, adds flash. Yeah, I mean, it's underspin, so we'll have to actually fish it to see how it does, but again, that Gamakatsu hook, can't say enough about that. It's nice when you have a good hook already. You don't have to question the hook. You know it's gonna be good. Agami is a great one. Okay, then the other one is the popping frog. So we'll open all these up and get a better look at them. So the frog, you know, I mean, honestly, the frogs are there's so many frogs out there, and they're pretty much all good. They're very similar. You know, it has a very similar design. I'm trying to think of anything that has, you know, that's really different about this frog. I don't see anything right off the top of my head. I mean, it looks like a bronze eye. It kind of looks like the KVD frog. You know, this definitely looks like a Spro. You know, not to knock this bait at all, but you know, frogs are frogs for the most part, unless you get into some, you know, frogs that walk a little bit different, or they have, you know, some of them, like the Japanese Buster K that I like, has rabbit fur on the back. So that's, again, it's really hard to differentiate, but I know these frogs will catch fish. I mean, that's one thing that they will do, proven design. So I can't say anything bad about these. I don't know anything about how much they cost to see if they're gonna be better than another, but that's just my initial thoughts on them, and I will definitely fish these. Love throwing a frog. So it's cool to see. This is the Reed Runner popping frog and the Reed Runner walking frog. So again, take a look at those. So next thing we'll talk about is the Mimic swim jig. Elite Series jigs. So this, I'm trying to think of the head, that this is very similar to, I think I'm thinking of the VMC. I think it's called the Boxer, but I'm not really sure which one I'm thinking of in my head, but it's very similar to another one that I have used. What I like about this, again, it's got that big Gamakatsu hook, so it's a stout one. This is a, it doesn't say, but I'm gonna guess that's probably a 5/0. Just a 1/2 ounce. But it's gonna be great for your Kitech style swim baits. And it's cool because it has 2 keepers on it. It has the molded lead keeper and then the metal keeper as well. So it's really gonna secure all your plastics, you know, your swim baits. But I found that this style of head, or this style of keeper here, is also great for a Lastech. So if you're throwing a, you know, Z-Man diesel minnows or any of those kind of swim baits on here, it's gonna hold it a lot better. You know, that metal barb really does do the trick to hold a Lastech. All right, so now we'll get into some Ned rig fishing. So these are the Nedsters. You got the one with the titanium keeper, and then just your standard. A little bit different design. It's pretty similar to the Z-Man version, but slightly different. Also 1/4 ounce. It's a little bit heavier than a lot of the Z-Man ones. Let's see. There's a 3/16. And you know, like Z-Man has all those crazy sizes, like 1/10, 1/5, you know, all those bizarre sizes. These are just standard 3/16 1/4. But I mean, it's gonna do the trick. It's got a Gamakatsu hook. Again, I feel like I just keep saying that, but that's a really big deal. This style of hook will stick them and keep them. Good keeper on there. It's kind of like the, if you've ever poured your own Ned rig heads, you know, your do-it molds. It's very similar to that style, but you know, titanium keeper. Oh, it's a double keeper too, which is cool. We'll see how that does, but it can't hurt. You know, if you're throwing a Ned rig, you want to be dragging through rocks, all that snaggy stuff. So having a little bit of protection there is good. So I like it. Now this one is one that is really different to me. It's the weedless Wacky jig. I'll show you that thing. You know, because it kind of, in a way, reminds me of the Flick Shake, except it's a kale style hook. It's got a weed guard, you know, weight right up top, a little bit different. Let's see what it says about that. But that one intrigues me. Gamakatsu hook, double weed guard, works through heavy cover. Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what else to say about it, but I like that style of hook, that kale. I mean, that's how I always used to fish a Wacky rig, was with the Gamakatsu shiner hook. You know, just because you have that big bite. You know, that's really how I started fishing a Wacky rig, shoot, almost 20 years ago at least. And it just sticks the fish, gets them good. So I like that kale style hook, that shiner hook. So yeah, definitely a fan of this one, just from, you know, being a little bit different and something I'm really excited to try out. I mean, honestly, I'm excited to try all this stuff because I've seen this bright yellow packaging everywhere, but, you know, especially when you go up north. But again, like, I don't really know a lot about this company, so it's cool to kind of have the chance to fish it, see what I think about it. So far, so good. And I got one more that I have to go over. This is the Finesse football jig. So it's a football head. I mean, nothing crazy there, but it is like it says, Finesse. So it's got a much smaller hook as far as the shank. It's, you know, most football heads got, you know, big gaff hooks for your skirted jigs. But this is a lot more compact. I guess that's why they call it the Finesse. But, you know, it's good for smallmouth. You could throw a Ned rig bait on here, a TRD. You could throw a little tiny hula grub, little crawbait. Trying to think what else I would use this for, but I like the compact design, and it's still fairly heavy. This is a 5/16, so it's not like it's super finesse. Saw some other ones in here. This is a 3/8, same thing. So a little bit heavier, so you can still fish deep. I definitely see some applications for this downsized football jig. You know, again, with a hula grub, small craw, plastic, or even, you know, throwing a skirt on there just to have something different. You know, that's an option as well. So that's it. That's the stuff from Northland. Really like the variety of stuff. I like to see that they're really getting serious about bass fishing. So, you know, check them out. So far, I'm impressed. Again, the real test is going to be on the water, fishing them, but they appear to be very good quality, using quality components. Like I've said 15 times, Gamakatsu hooks, big deal. So yeah, that's Northland. That's what I got now. I'm gonna go fish this stuff. I actually have a tournament this weekend. These Ned rig heads will be on there, the Nedster, as I should say. So those will be on there, hopefully with a fish on the other end. Thanks for watching.